collecting actual human feedback from users is becoming more and more important in a world of AI where we don't always know what's real and what's AI generated. So traditionally, we've done this with form builders such as Google Forms, but honestly, I've never been such a big fan of Google UI, and Google Forms in particular looks very dated and has very limited functionality. But luckily, a lot of great alternatives have popped up, and one of those is MakeForms.io. MakeForms has a lot of innovative features that makes it really stand out. Like you can build conditional logic, so you can react in real time to what users answer during the survey process. It looks really great, so it's a really nice experience for users to go through. They have AI features, so you can easily have AI assist you build the forms, and just the whole experience of building the forms like a very visual, no-code approach is just very nice. And yeah, so I'll in this video I'll go through some of those features and show you how to use MakeForms. So let's get started. So to use MakeForms, you simply head to their website MakeForms.io, where you can create an account, and yeah, you can see the features here, like what I talked about, the conditional logic and a lot of other things like collaboration and so on. And also they have these AI tools that make it very easy to build forms quickly. So I'll show some of these features, and then you can explore the rest on your own. And yeah, just head to their website and create an account. It's very easy. All right, so after you create an account, you'll see basically your home screen of MakeForms, and it's very simple. Like the UI is very clean, and what I also really like is that you can easily define your brand. So if we go to brand, you can customize default fonts for both heading and content, and this ensures that your forms will look consistent each time. Right? If we go back to forms, we can now create a form. And as you see, there are different options here, like the standard form, one at a time form, basically where only one question is asked at a time. You have the AI form creator, template-based lead form, and so on. But let's just try to create a standard form. And then we give it a name. So in our case, I would like to create a form that collects some data from our community about what sort of content people would like to see on this channel. So I'll actually, when I finish this form, I'll actually link the form in the description down below, so you can go ahead and fill it out if you want. I would really appreciate some feedback, but also just see how the experience is when, like, from the user's perspective of the forms created. So let's name it it's the audience content feedback, and continue. So now we're at the sort of main form builder interface. So we have on the left side, we have all the different fields we can add, both from very basic like name, address, numbers, dates, and so on, to the more advanced fields like e-signature, calendar, OpenAI connection, and a lot of different options really. So let's just try to begin with something simple. So we drag in a multiple choice, and then we can ask something like, what types of AI content like speaking or, and then we can simply add in the options. So let's say, by the way, for this form specifically, I'm not going to collect email address, or like it's gonna be an anonymous survey, but I just want to add that if you are building a form where you want to collect user information, like for lead generation or similar, you can quite easily enable verification like OTP verification of both email and phone number and so on. So if you want to collect email address, for instance, and you want to verify that email, you simply add the email field. And then as a setting, you can enable verification for the email. So it's really, really simple. You can even add like you want to verify first before they get to enter the actual survey. So let's try this, and let's just try to publish this so you can see how easy it is to verify users. Okay, so it's published, and let's see. So now, if I'm going, like if I'm entering my email, I actually need to verify that email before. So let me just check the OTP. So I received it now on my phone, and I'll enter 0268286. Okay, so now that the email has been verified, I'm able to then continue the survey. But as mentioned, I'm not going to include that in this survey, like it's going to be an anonymous survey, but I just wanted to show this feature as well. So let's see, let's add a single choice, and then we will ask something like which specific AI tools interest you. And let's add the options. That's all good for now, but then let's add one more, basically a text area, and then I will ask here, copy from my notes, essentially tell us more about your other AI content ideas. So this will be shown if you press other up here, and this, which specific AI tools interest you, will be shown if you select either tutorials or tool reviews. So let's go ahead and implement that. So we have both of them down here now, but if we actually press this one and go to the right side menu and press logic, we can actually add logic. So in this case, we will simply add a rule. So what types of AI content would you like to see more of? So that's the correct question we want the rule on. And then we basically say that should equal tutorials, and we can add one more, tool reviews. Okay, so we have the rule now. So every time this condition is true, we should show a specific field, and we want to show which specific AI tools interest you. That's it. Then we press save. Of course, we want one more rule, so we just go back, create a new condition, and then we essentially say if other is selected, we want to show the field, tell us more about your other AI content ideas. So that's great. So we save this, and as you see, you can always see all the fields, but if we actually go ahead and press preview on this form, it will open the rendered preview in a new tab. And here you see that you actually, like if we press AI news, nothing will happen here. But if we press tutorials, we'll see which specific AI tools interest you. We can select both of them, and we can also be interested in others, but still we get this this option of specifying which AI tools is of interest. And if we press other, we will also get this field as well. So in that case, we'll get both, but if we then remove both of these, we'll only have the other field. So I think this is really powerful conditional logic that can really be flexibly adjusted to almost any scenario you can think of. Okay, so let's go back and continue. So let's now add a rating slider. Okay, with this, and Then here we'll ask the question, is this in? How interested are you in more videos on the AI content types you selected? And then this helps us prioritize what to create next. So 1, not interested at all, and 5, extremely interested. And this goes to 100. So we'll just adjust the range and say maximum is 5. Okay, so now it's a scale from 1 to 5. One thing I quickly want to share before we continue building our survey is that when you sign up for MakeForms and you create a new workspace, you can actually choose specifically which region you want your data to be stored in. So you have full flexibility and control of your data. So you can choose between European data centers, America, Canada, Singapore, India, and Australia. So it's extremely flexible and very transparent. And then we can also add the, let's see, the NPS, Net Promoter Score. And then we can ask, how likely are you to recommend House Collective to a friend? So it's a scale from 0 to 10. And then let's see. Then I think it could also be interesting, just out of curiosity, to know which country the respondent is from. So we can add a drop-down and ask which country from. And then in the right side menu, we actually have the option of choosing a predefined list. So we don't actually need to provide all these options ourselves, which is really, really convenient. So they have some different options, and we can simply select country, and then it'll be pre-filled with a list of the world's countries automatically. And I think this is more or less it. So obviously we can still have the options of tweaking the design as well. We can go to the design tab. We can choose that we want to show our logo. So we get the logo. We can add our brand color. So in colors, we can have the theme color. We just simply add in the color, apply, and we can choose to put that theme color on the button as well. So button background, we can use this. Then we can save this as a theme, so we can use the same theme the next time. Okay, so let's try to preview it now. Let's see how it looks. Yep. Yep, so I think it looks pretty good. We have our logo. One other thing I just want to quickly show before I publish this is actually a pretty powerful feature, I think. So after you've created like any kind of form, you can always go to form settings and then press enable one at a time. This is if you want this flow where just one question is asked at a time and the user doesn't need to see all of the coming fields beforehand, which can sometimes make it a bit easier to complete because you don't get stressed of all the all the input, like all the clutter on the screen. So let's try to preview this option. So let's say I'm interested in tutorials and deep dives. That's okay. And then we still have the conditional logic working. So I will say I'm very interested in vibe coding. And well, interested. How likely are you to recommend? I guess I have to say 10. Which country are you from? So I'm from Denmark. Right, submit. And yeah, the submit screen is currently blank, and that's because we haven't added the thank you screen yet. So we can just go to thank you and say thank you for your back. We can review it again. And there we have it. Thank you for your feedback. Okay. So actually I kind of like the flow where it's one at a time for this sort of feedback. So I think we're good. We can also add a welcome screen if we want, but I think it's nicer to just get directly into it unless you really have something to explain beforehand. So yeah, we can just press publish. And again, I'll put the link to the published version in the description down below. You can simply copy it and share it anywhere. And of course, I would appreciate if you would go ahead and answer this survey. Also, you can see the flow for yourself, but also we would like to know what you guys are interested in, of course. So please feel free to fill out the form. One really cool feature is that you can really easily make your form multilingual. So you have the drop down. So we created this form in English, but you have a drop down where you can actually activate other languages too. So imagine that we want to have this survey in German too, for instance. We can simply activate German, and then we can press edit, and essentially we can go either manually and translate all our form entries, or we can use auto translate. So let's try to press. And yeah, and now we see that all the entries have been auto translated. Now I'm not at I know a bit of German. I'm Danish, so I have some understanding of German. It looks uh, German to me, but I'm not sure if like I can't say for sure, but it looks pretty good. But if you want to change anything for the auto translation, you can of course always go and manually edit the auto translation. So the last thing I want to show is the powerful AI features of MakeForms. So I'll show it by just quickly creating a new form. We press create form. Instead of the standard form, we press AI form creator. And we simply just put the title of the form we want to create. So in this case, we can say audience feedback for our YouTube AI. Okay, something like this. And we press create. And it will start analyzing the context we gave and generate some fields. So instantly we get this sort of draft of our form that's suggested by the MakeForms AI feature. And yeah, the first question is about collecting just name, email, and how they discovered our channel. And we can see like how it created different pages as well, like rating of AI content quality, which topics people would like to see more of, preferred video links. I almost feel like this is already better than the one I created manually before. But the powerful thing about this is that it can work as a starting point. So you can have AI generate the first version and then simply go and edit everything you want. So if it didn't get all of it correct, you can just go ahead and edit. So yeah, I think it's really great. It even has the sort of detailed text area for explanation. If you're interested in joining community, you can also add thank you and welcome yourself, of course. But I think this is really, really nice because you can edit edit it however you like it. It's basically the same interface as before. It just pre-fills all these content types, so you don't need to drag and drop, and you don't need to come up with all the texts yourself. So I think this is really, really great. And of course, this is just when you let it do whatever it wants based on the title you provide. But I don't know if you saw, but if we just quickly go back to the main dashboard, when you create form and use the AI form creator, you can enable this option. Will this be a step form? And in here you can actually add the steps. So if you know that you only want to ask 3 questions or something, and in this survey you can add just the titles of those questions, and it won't just fill out a lot of things. Like it will basically adhere to that to that limit, basically. So in this case you would put in the name of the form itself, and then the title of each question or step in your form, and then that will be it. Like it won't add more fields besides that. Something that was recently launched is a new suite of AI tools where you actually create the forms in a ChatGPT style format, where you simply chat with an AI agent in the process where you create the form. So let's just try this out as well. For fun, let's try to make an AI or like use the AI quiz builder. So we open this, and then we can say, create a quiz. And we want English language. I'd actually like this to be difficult. Yeah, that's it. We press generate quiz. And there we have it. So so we can enter our name, and then we have the questions. Okay, which of the following types of machine learning? So I would say reinforcement learning. But let's say we want it to be less general and more about sort of specific tools. So we say make a new iteration, the quiz, with questions focused on specific AI tools. It should still be quiz style .survey. Something like that. So let's see. Okay, so now the questions are a bit more specific and less about sort of the more generic aspects of the field. So which of these features is not available in ChatGPT? Real-time internet access, that is. Code generation, yep. Text completion, yes. Mathematical calculations. That's actually quite hard. I think real-time internet access. I mean, it can surf the web, but I'm not sure what is the primary function of GitHub Copilot. So that's code completion and suggestion. Yeah, so it has like 3 pages. So this is just to show how you can actually refine this continuously through chat alone. We can also open this in the editor, which goes back to the same interface from before, but now it's just been generated with AI directly. With AI automating a lot of our businesses, both at this point, but just, of course, increasingly in the future, I think it's very important to then divert some of the resources we save into the human connection, and also, in this case, collecting data and feedback that can help you enhance your products and make the experience even better for the human users. And I think MakeForms really show how this data collection experience can be redefined, both in the creation stage, where you create the sort of the forms and the guidelines for the forms, but also for the users, how the experience is to actually provide their input. So I think MakeForms is a really great tool in that regard, and I like how they keep innovating and how they keep adding, like basically focusing on making the best form builder out there by constantly innovating with new features. So check them out, and and try it if you have any data to collect. I would really recommend it. So thanks for watching the video. As always, if you liked it, please like the video and hit subscribe to our channel. That helps us a lot, and stay tuned for more content. See you soon. Have a great day. Bye bye.